You got that door open, now it won't close.
Is that one closing too, or no?
It's about that header you said it is. Probably not going to be this week. It's definitely not going to be.
So we're all here for extrication training today. We got a course outline that we're going to try and follow as much as we can. So the first thing we're going to go over is our initial operations and the seat assignments. We have LT, driver, and firefighter. We do have to go over accessing the patient and how we're going to treat that patient. Since we're going ALS, it's going to be good for EMTs and medics alike. And then after that, we're going to do the stuff that we love: door removal, B-post blowout, dash roll, and roof removal. We need to stabilize the vehicle so it doesn't roll away while we're extricating somebody. We'll go over valve stem removal, chocks, and struts.
First thing that we're going to start off with is the scene size up, right? And that's the lieutenant's job. Set the tone for the scene. Get a picture of what's going on so the incoming units can see what's happening. And this also sets it up to the driver. Torrance, how do you want to park? Blocking the scene? Blocking the scene, right? Particularly guys is the most important part. We don't want to get hit, and neither does the driver, right? Rather have them hit our truck than us. So parking is a huge aspect of this job as well when we're doing extrication. You don't have to go fast to get the patient out, but you have to be efficient at it, all right? So if you're doing something that's not working, take a step back and see what you could do better, okay? So let's go ahead and zip up.
It's right here, all right? Go ahead. There you go. Now you can take your Halligan and clear out. There you go.
When we're clearing this glass, everybody's pushing in with their gloves, and wipe your face. It's going to cut your face when you have glass in your eyes. All you got to do is take this. Okay. Just like that. No touchy. All right? Perfect. Once we break the glass, and we're going to start thinking about, we don't have to do like emergency move or something like that, and we're going to think about starting extrication. We need to make sure that this vehicle's prepped. All right? And what I mean by prepped, anything that's going to come in contact with the cutters when we're cutting this or spreaders, it needs to be removed because it makes the job of the cutters and the spreaders 10 times harder, okay? So we need to move the weather stripping, all the type of panels, those need to go as well. Just so it's another layer that the cutters and spreaders don't have to go through. Why Haines City? Because they gave me a shot. They gave me a chance. I've had opportunities to go somewhere else. I have my medic FO1 cert, so I could go, basically wherever I wanted to go. But I love the culture here. I love the guys. We're heading in a great direction. We got a great chief now. I might learn anywhere. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a firefighter, so I joined the Air Force. Was a firefighter in the Air Force, got out and, did some other stuff, but ultimately came back to firefighting. I just love it. love helping people, love the camaraderie. I love my guys, honestly. I love coming in here, you know, training with them, getting to know them. We have 2 new guys on my shift, so we're trying to figure them out. They're trying to figure us out, but it's a process. And, you know, that translates into the calls and how you run them, how efficient you are, EMS, fire calls. But I just love being here with the guys. I love the camaraderie that I get, the brotherhood.
What do you think is like the biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome with those probationary firefighters as a lieutenant?
I mean, just try to get them in here and see where they're at. You know, you could go through fire school and EMT school and pass, but when you come to applying that knowledge, it's definitely different. So we come in here, we start off with the basics, and then we go into more advanced stuff. But as of right now, they're only 3 months and a month in, so we're pretty much just at the basics right now. And that's the toughest thing, is seeing where they're at and what they can handle.
What would you say is most important for you as a lieutenant, as far as like knowledge or what you would share with a probationary firefighter that's new to the service?
Make yourself available. You know, like, we'll train you, we'll do everything in our power to help you, but you have to want to learn. You can come in here, we can hold all the trainings in the training room or out in the bay as much as possible, but if you're not taking some type of, you know, self-awareness when it comes to trying to learn more, then you're just going to fail.
Their guidance is now going to be the apartment next side of the car. Go ahead and show me the place. 1315.
My name is Clifford Stewart. I'm a firefighter EMT, and I've been here for 2 months. I moved out here a year ago from Georgia. Well, me and my wife were traveling for a year. I moved out here. My brother-in-law told me about the sponsorship, so I came down here, and the next day, I came down here, knocked on the door, asked the chief about the sponsorship, and ever since then, I've been with Haines City.
So what was that like going through the academy? You've got classmates that may not have someone speaking for them just yet, but then here you are, you kind of a guaranteed job. Did that kind of give you a little bit of relief?
It did. It gave me a little relief, but also it was like I had to remind myself it wasn't a guaranteed job right away. Like in a minute, if I can mess up, I can lose the job. So it was just, I had to remind myself, like, you got a job, you have a job, but also you don't have a job until you graduate and complete it. One thing I can say about Haines City Department, And I want to say for Chief as well. He really helped me out. He really helped me out. And I always tell people this, Chief and also the school I went to, they helped me out. FRTG, they helped me out. I always sort of say this. I tell people if I went anywhere else, I probably wouldn't be a firefighter EMT right now with the opportunity I have.
What was it like graduating the academy and knowing that, like, oh my gosh, I made it. Now I'm going to be starting on the job?
It was a big relief. It was a big relief. It's like a whole, like I said, I was in it, stressed out, tired, you know, I didn't know, like, I had a lot of second thoughts, like, I don't want to do this, long nights, long day, but when the final day came and I was like, I'm done, I'll finally get to work, it was like, wow, I did it. Like, I told my wife, listen, I did it, nobody can take it away from me, like, I went through, you know, the blood, sweat, tears, long nights, I said, I got it, I accomplished that part.
How does your family feel about you being a firefighter?
Oh, it was happy. That was happy. Wife happy, daughter happy, everybody happy because I'll be home way more than I was before. Because before I was going like 5 days a week, long hours. So now I have more time to spend with my family.
What's one thing that scares you most about this job?
Kid. We getting a call for a kid. Like, that's the biggest thing. Because I have a daughter and that's, and I told LT to everybody, I'm getting teary-eyed now because it's going to tear me apart. Like, if I get a call for a kid and I have to think about my daughter. So, excuse me. Get a little teary-eyed about it. So, 2 weeks back, we had a call. And the first thing my LT did, he came up to me. I don't think y'all saw that. Y'all just said, he came to me and said, hey, man, you okay? He said, I want to know, did the call bother you? And that right there showed me, like, okay, you really care. It's not like, you say that you care, but you're showing that you care. Like, if it did, the call went another way. And if it did, you know, I felt some type of way, I see that just not him, but everybody on the shield would sit down, understand, and talk to me about it. So.
Borderline right now for fire tech.
We got dispatched out to a brush fire. Engine 1 arrived on scene first, and they found a 20 by 10 section that was on fire. They had PD putting it out with their personal fire extinguishers. So they arrived on scene and seeing that there were still fires, so they extended a 1 3/4 hand line and began to fight the fire. We got on scene with the brush truck, and they seemed to have it pretty much contained. There was no way for us to get back there with the brush truck, so they took care of the majority of it, and then they wet down all the surrounding areas so there wasn't no extension of fire.
How far did the fire spread?
Well, Lieutenant Ferg said it was a like 20 by 10 when he got there. It looks like it grew to about 10 by 50-ish. There was a wall that was stopping it from both sides. On the sides of it, there was a fence and then a concrete wall that wasn't letting it spread to the side, so it was just going long ways.
How often do you guys get calls like this where they're small in nature but potential's there?
Quite a bit, actually, the past couple weeks since we were in a burn ban. We were getting a call maybe once or twice a shift for the past 2 weeks since it was so dry outside. It wasn't nothing too big most of the time. Last week was a power line start or something, but most of the time it's just people just throwing cigarettes out the window onto the dry grass, and then it starts to spread from all the wind and everything picking up.
Do you feel like people in Polk County are pretty respectful about the burn ban for the most part?
Yeah, for the most part they are. Usually when we have to come out of there because they're burning, it's just because they didn't know. Whether it be, sometimes we have to put it on we try to put it on the website, the TV. I know the news sometimes puts it out there, but we try to put it on, on the fire department page, on the Facebook, social media pages, to spread the word about the burn ban. Sometimes people don't see it, so when we go out there and tell them, hey, we got a burn ban, you can't burn, they're pretty understandable about it. They just say, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And they just put it out, usually by their own water hose. Usually they have their own hose. Everybody pretty much knows how to burn around here. They usually have a water hose or some kind of water source to put it out just in case it gets out of control.
What's it like operating brush truck? I mean, what kind of typical tasks would you get if you got a really big fire?
So the difference with this and the engine is this can go off-road. We have 4-wheel drive on this vehicle, so the only bad thing is we don't have as much water as an engine does. I like to put Dawn dish soap in the brush tank, and it usually penetrates the brush quicker. So,
and now you're on scene. How are you guys attacking the fire? Are you on the outside of the fire? Do you drive into the fire?
No, we attack it from the burn side. If there's like a big old circle of brush or whatever, or grass, we usually get into the middle of it because it's not going to burn again. So, and we attacked it I hit the ring on the outside of it. And try to sometimes we'll stay in the vehicle and fight it while we're driving from the passenger side. If I have a passenger, or then I'll have to get out and do it myself if I'm alone. Usually we'll grab somebody from the engine and they'll ride with me as we put it out, and just circle the area until we find something, or until we put the majority of it out, or we have to protect a exposure, a house or a building. Then that'll be our main focus, is protecting that part of it.
So that one came in as a cardiac arrest. Right before we got there, it said that it was an infant or a newborn, and in the notes it just said newborn died. So that is never good, but there was a language barrier, so we know a lot of times with that it's not accurate. Dispatch is just siding on caution, basically, so they just tone it out as the worst. Luckily it turned out that the baby was okay, but there was definitely something going on. I don't think the baby was completely normal, so they're transporting the baby with the mother to a pediatric center. So it turned out good.
I'm Justin Keene. I'm a firefighter EMT. I've been with Haines City about 4 to 5 months now. Been in fire service for just under 4 years.
So why Haines City?
Oh, it's actually a really, really good question. Haines City is a department where you don't hear much about them negativity wise. And coming to just ask questions and learn more as far as leadership goes, I mean, you can't go wrong with it here. They've a lot of it's changed in the past couple of years, but the lieutenants, the drivers, all that, there's a camaraderie between them. That's not like, there's no other department that I've been at or seen that the camaraderie is the same way. It's just overall one department that burns quite often. I'm a very fire hungry individual. I prefer fire over EMS. So we're burning a lot. That's more intriguing towards me than somewhere where you're running 7,000, 8,000 calls a year and they're all medicals and you get one or two fires a year. And considering in 4 months you've had 4 structure fires, that's pretty significant.
Out of all the shifts, what shift's best?
Absolutely, it's B shift. We're the funniest, we're the most athletic. We work out every single shift aside from another shift that clings to. We actually do. And the camaraderie on here is not comparable to anybody else. And we're just that next level up, especially A shift.
What do you like most about fire?
The adrenaline rush. It don't matter what time it is in the middle of the night. If it's 1 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon, it just doesn't matter what time it is. You get that fire, you're wide awake, and it's an adrenaline dump like nothing else you could ever experience.
What's one of the challenges you've had to overcome since joining the fire service about the job?
So I'm a very, very big person when it comes to family. You understand that I'm going to miss Christmases, I'm going to miss Thanksgivings, I'm going to miss quality vacations, anything like that. That was difficult in the first little bit, but you get accustomed to it. Outside of that, I mean, it's, when a shoe fits, you wear it. This fits, so I wear it.
So you are a firefighter EMT.
Mm-hmm.
You are technically probationary because you're transferring here.
Yes.
What's that like? Obviously, you're not, your typical probationary firefighter. When you come straight out of the academy and you're very green, you're new, you've got some experience, obviously, coming from previous departments. What's that like?
It's a blessing, but at the same time, there's more responsibility on me. So stuff that other probationary firefighters might come in, they stress and teach, I'm expected to know. So it's kind of like a dog on a leash. I just got a little more room on my leash than what most of them would. But it's still, it's not so much a good thing or a bad thing. I have more to prove as far as they expect me to have the knowledge versus someone's brand new. If someone's brand new, they don't know how to do something. Okay, they're brand new, they're green, they're going to learn it along the way. Me having prior experience coming in, it's understanding that, okay, well, he should already know this. If not, it makes me look 10 times worse what a brand new guy would be. So although there is a little bit more freedom and leniency on certain training aspects, I'm having to prove myself more just because I do have that background and it's expected for me to for it to be known to me already.
What's your biggest fear with this job?
That's a tricky question because you can say this typical, death is my fear or failure is my fear, but honestly, my biggest fear is letting down either my lieutenant or somebody that needs my help. At the end of the day.
We're gonna go to the front door. I'm gonna see if I can get a 360, or at least as much as I can. See if anything's going on. So many hands. It's been a while since I've been to this building.
We just made contact. They're having construction done in the southwest corners, and one of the pipes is busted. There's no emergency. We're just going to go ahead and go over there and see if we can shut the water off.
That was that water that was leaking.
Right there.
The sprinkler head?
Yeah, they replaced it, but they opened up the water main again and didn't open it up all the way. So the water pressure fluctuated and that's what kicked it off again.
Okay, so, but you got a head back on there?
We have a head back on, no leak anymore.
Oh, sweet.
And the water pressure should be stabilized.
All right, cool. So the fluctuation probably
That's what set it off a second ago, because once it went off, we went back to the valve and we noticed it wasn't opened all the way.
All right, cool. So is it good right now?
Yes.
Your fire alarm is back.
Fire alarm is back to normal, yep.
Sweet.
You guys want to look at it before I leave?
We're actually curious where it's.
Yeah, I can walk you guys through. Come on.
You don't mind? Cool. So what we did there is, I would like to call like PR/area familiarization, but it serves a lot of good. A lot of these large industrial buildings or commercial buildings, we don't always get to see them. We don't get to spend a lot of time in them. So I like to do that whenever we run calls like that, where it's non-emergency, no big deal, not a problem. But it was a good chance to get a look at the building, look at the sprinkler system, look at where the fire alarm panels are, and also talk with the managers and the people that, run the place. But yeah, so basically it's good to make those relationships because it could pay off in the future. Good example, Sofidel, our paper plant. I know the layout. I know where everything is in that building. I could go there with my eyes shut. And also I have a good rapport with the on-site manager and some of the employees there. So that does pay off in the long run.
I'm just glad that you're able to do this and show everybody that watches it. We've had people watch it from New Zealand to Germany to, obviously here in Florida. People are commenting on your YouTube videos. They love it. They love to see what we do. But it's great to see the outreach that we get. You go to other fire department YouTube channels and they have hundreds of thousands of views. And we're just starting this, and we've already had thousands upon thousands of views of our own. So it's good to see people engaging like that.